once again. Today is Friday, January 16th, and we are moving forward. We're moving up. We are forever forging forward, never moving backwards. Financial Fitness Friday with D.E. Wilder. Financial fitness for your future. Tonight's session is developing financial stability. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. I don't care what walks of life you're on. This should be of interest to you. Developing financial stability, the first step to financial freedom. Let's go to work. So, this is simply for the beginners, early stage builders seeking financial stability and peace of mind regardless of their finances. Irregardless to finances. So welcome. Thank you for joining me once again on this journey. I'd like to welcome family, friends, and fraternal souls. Let's do our meditative moment and let's take a breath. Take a breath with me. Let us practice a meditative breathing method to bring calm to our soul. Let's breathe in peace and exhale and release. Because right now, wherever you are, you need to know this. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be perfect with money. You don't need to feel ashamed about where you are. Because financial freedom does not begin with wealth. It begins with awareness. It begins with intention. It's the moment that you decide, I want stability. I want peace. I want control over chaos. Today's conversation is about developing financial stability, not overnight riches. It's not what it's about. Because it's not about hype, not about pressure. It's just the first step. One step. Steps that are realistic. Steps that are sustainable. Steps that lead us towards freedom. And not chaos and confusion or stressfulness. So let me say this clearly as we begin. Financial stability is not about how much you make. It's about how well you manage what flows through your hand. So if you ever felt stuck, if you ever felt like you were standing still in place, if you have ever lived paycheck to paycheck, if you have ever felt anxiety over opening that bank app, not knowing what you're going to see, we all been there. If you have ever avoided your finances because it felt simply overwhelming, you are not broken. You are simply untrained, and training and getting to where you want to be starts today. Let's go to work. So we're going to redefine financial freedom. What does that mean? We need to redefine something before we can go any further. Financial freedom is not a dollar amount. It's not about a luxury car. It's not about a big house. It's not about, viral success or some type of instant success. Financial freedom is simply a choice. It's the ability to pay your bills without panic, to handle unexpected expenses without fear, to make decisions without desperation, to sleep without money anxiety pressuring you. Excuse me. I talk all day, so excuse me. True freedom starts with financial stability. This is what stability means. Your basics are covered. Your system is clear. Your money has direction, and your mind is not constantly worrying. And here's something that is powerful. You don't stabilize money by chasing more of it. That's not how it works. You stabilize money by respecting it and respecting where you're at. Money responds to clarity. Money responds to intention. Money responds to structure. Chaos repels stability. Avoidance delays freedom. So today we shift from avoidance to, simply put, awareness, because that's where it all starts, with awareness. We go with awareness to having a mindset shift. A mindset shift that's taken us from survival to structure. Many people are living in financial survival mode. Financial survival mode is like, and this is a mindset, unfortunately. I deal with that later. I'll start when I make more. It's too overwhelming. It's simply put, I'm just not good with money. Those are all the things that people say to themselves that keep them stuck in their financial situation. But here's the truth. You don't rise financially until you stop negotiating with discomfort. Stability requires structure. Structures requires honesty. So let's start with the mindset shift. Money is not emotional. Your relationship with money is. The first step is not budgeting. The first step is self-awareness and understanding exactly where you are. So ask yourself this, and we're going to have a lot of self-reflective moments. Ask yourself this: what does my money actually do? Where does my money actually go? What do I avoid looking at? What patterns repeats every month? Where do I leak waste, one and the same, money unconsciously? You ask yourself self-reflecting questions like that, no judgment, just observation. Because awareness is power, and awareness and the power of awareness is where we begin. Let's take a moment. When you move from survival to structure, you stop reacting to things and start responding to things. Responding and having the power of knowledge, the power of knowing your numbers. You can't change anything. You can't even grow properly if you don't know where you're at. So this is where freedom really begins. Know your numbers. Very simple. Not guessing, not estimating, but you must know. You need to know three things. Very simple. Start very simple. I told you everything that I go through in my session are very much in practical terms. Practical terms meaning anyone can do it. Anyone could put it into action. We start with anyone who wants to level up and grow, develop, can put it into action. Three things. One, your monthly income. Get the numbers right. Your monthly expenses and your financial obligations. What you're going to do, it's always a pen in my hand. I'm a writer. You don't need to be a writer to journal, to have ideas, to jot things down, but you're going to need a pen for this. Write things down, all of them, and don't leave anything out. Write down your rent and mortgage and/or mortgage. Write down your utilities. Write down your food expenses, your transportation, your subscriptions, your debt payments, your impulse spending. Nothing is hidden. Don't leave anything out. Don't ignore anything. Write it all down. Because money that you don't track will end up controlling you. You'll be chasing it. Because here's the key. Awareness does not create lack. It reveals reality of where you're at. And the reality is what you build from. Once you know where you're at, and regardless of what it is, you come to terms with things. You be honest with yourself. You know what? Yeah, I do waste a lot of money. Yeah, I do spend money on things I shouldn't spend it on. Yeah, I do let money leak in areas that I should be more conscious of. Reality, just be honest with that. That's how we grow. No judgment. This step alone, just writing it down and knowing your numbers, immediately will give you power. Because you'll stop guessing things. You'll stop fearing. You'll stop being surprised. Surprised when you look at that bank account and you see how much money went out. Because clarity calms the nervous system. You got to know the numbers. This is how we get on the road to create a stabilizing budget. So let's talk about budgeting, but differently than the financial way and the checks and balances and balance sheets and income statement. Let's just talk about it. This is not about restriction. This is simply about alignment. Because remember, people, before, when we talk about financial freedom on my Financial Fitness Fridays, it's not just about the numbers. And every session is more so about your mindset. Because once you can get into the mindset shift and start thinking about your financial freedom differently, trust me when I tell you, everything changes, everything shifts. So again, it's about alignment. A stabilizing budget will simply answer one question. What does my money need to do for me this month? So we're going to start with the essentials. Start with the housing, as I mentioned, your food, utilities, transportation. Then you focus on your obligations, like your debt, insurance, childcare, and minimum savings. Because if you have a great savings plan, that's wonderful. If you have a consistent and recurring savings plan, beautiful. But at the very least, you should have a minimum savings plan. Don't tell me you can't put $10 away. Don't tell me you can't put $25 away. Don't tell me you can't put $50 away. It can start small because that small can grow. But you got to be doing something. Okay? Then you go from budgeting to lifestyle. Now we're going to have to look at your lifestyle and where money is being leaked. Is it entertainment? Is it what type of personal spending? What type of what we call comfort spending? Because a good budget doesn't punish you, but in fact, it's designed to protect you. It ensures that your needs are met, your future is supported, and financial stress is reduced. That's the goal. So remember this. If your money has no assignment, it will simply disappear without a trace. That's a fact. So tell your money each month where it needs to go. Because if you don't, you will wonder where it went. And that's a fact. Moving on. Building financial buffers. A financial stability requires breathing room. You can't just be living paycheck to paycheck, dollar to dollar, trying to figure out where the next dollar's coming from. You need breathing room. You need a buffer. You need to have that level of comfort through savings and reserves and money put away. So here is where many people panic. And that panic say things like, when it comes to finances, like, I just can't save. And that is simply just not true. I don't care how much it is. I don't care if it's $1. I don't care if it's the change in your pocket when you break a dollar bill. Please put something away and let it build and let it grow. So let's reframe that train of thought and that frame of mind of I can't save. Reframe that to you don't start with thousands or millions or wealth. You just start with a simple action of being consistent and having consistencies in whatever it is that you're saving. Because your first buffer goal should be something modest, okay? If you can't do 5, excuse me. If you can't do something like, say, $5,000, then you go down to $1,000. You can't do $1,000, you go down to $500. You can't do $500, you go down to $100. You can't do $100, do $50. You can't do $50, $10, $5, whatever. But you got to put something away. That is going to be a key part of your financial freedom. This is not emergency funds. We talked about that in my past sessions, but this is not. This is what we're going to call, before you even get to building a real emergency fund, this is your peace of mind fund. This is your peace of mind fund because it protects you from small surprises, unexpected expenses, and that emotional spending where money really starts to be draining and leaking. So save automatically if possible. You can put it away without even seeing it go. If it's $10 or $20 or $50 at a time. Consistency builds confidence. Confidence builds momentum, and it will grow in time and over time. Respect your debt and where you at financially without shame. Debt is not a moral failure. We all have debt. It's simply a financial tool. Debt is a part of the financial systems, regardless. The largest companies in the world who has the largest, income have debt. It's part of the financial system. So sometimes you have to know how to use it wisely. Sometimes it's used emotionally. But stability does not require perfection. There is no perfect system. It just simply requires a strategy. Part of the financial freedom is knowing where all your finances are. And under that umbrella of finances, you have income. That's a big part of it. You got to have income. But you also will have debt. But simply, if you look at your balance sheet, your assets and liabilities, that's part of the process. So know these aspects of your finances. You need to know what you owe, to whom you owe. Very important. Interest rates on what you owe and minimum payments. The key to building, and I had this in my credit session, always, unequivocally, without stop, without fail, pay on time. Lack of paying on time will throw everything off. You know, they say, you know, all is lost if you don't pay on time, because that's the key indicator of financial stability and credit worthiness. Reduce high interest debt and reduce that first. Don't hate yourself for past decisions. You got to let it go. Be kind to yourself. Be gracious to yourself. We all have lived life. We all have had things that we've done in the past that we say, maybe I shouldn't have done that. You know, in hindsight, they say hindsight, everything is 20/20. So it's no reason for us to beat ourselves up for past decisions. We let it go. The first thing is, that's why awareness is so important, is now that we know better, very simply put, like the Queen Maya Angelou say, now that you know better, do better. Okay? Don't let shame keep you stuck, because a lot of times that will happen. People will realize that they got themselves in a situation and they start feeling anxiety and shameful about it. And then they don't want to tell nobody about it. And in fact, if you told somebody about it, obviously someone you know, someone you care, someone in your circle, someone who may have information that can help you, that can possibly help change that situation. But a person is so shameful and or prideful that they stay stuck in that situation without doing anything about it, without talking about it, and without changing that circumstances. But you got to break out of that mindset, because clarity helps you move forward. That's our next point. Creating a forward vision. Financial stability is not just maintenance, but it's in fact direction. Self-reflection. Ask yourself, what does freedom look like for me? What would peace feel like for me? What would change in my life if money stress was erased? What would that be like for me? Reflect on those questions. And while you're doing that, we're going to set goals, short-term goals, 1 month ahead, 3 months ahead, long-term goals, 1 year ahead, 5 years ahead. Your money should support your life, not control it. So again, on my Financial Fitness Fridays, I'm talking about practical steps and tools that you can use to transform your financial situation. And it doesn't matter where you're at. If you're doing great, you can do better. If you need help, you can get the help. If you're working on it, keep working on it and keep going. Because it's possible, as long as you are working on it and you're doing something about it. And it all starts with honesty, accountability, and awareness. So, in closing, let's have a final reflective moment. Meditative moment, in fact. Let's take a breath again. Breathe in peace, exhale, and release. Because you don't need to do everything today. No matter where you're at, if you're going to transform yourself, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take some time, and there's going to have to be a process in the process. So everything does not have to happen today. You only need to begin today. Financial freedom is built one step at a time. Decision by decision. Choices by choices. You are not late. You are in fact right on time. So let these final words settle in for you. I am capable of managing my money with clarity. I choose stability over stress. I respect my finances and my future. Small steps lead to lasting freedom. I am building peace one decision at a time. You are not chasing money anymore. You are not running after and searching for answers anymore. You're building a foundation, and your foundation of freedom is for you to grow. So thank you. Thank you for spending this time with me on this journey as I spend time with you on your journey. Until next time, stay grounded, stay intentional, and always find yourself moving forward. We're not moving backwards. If this message made a difference to you, please share it with someone who you think may need to hear it. Important, I wish that you can stay rooted, stay blessed, and keep living your life with kindness, clarity, and purpose. I am D. Wilder, and this is Financial Fitness Friday, focusing on financial fitness for your future. And I bid you peace and blessings. Thank you all for sharing this moment with me. Thank you all for listening to this message, and I hope that it's helpful to you. And as I mentioned, share it with someone else who may need to hear it, because I know that there's a lot of people who are stuck, and they are what they saying, suffering in silence, and they are ashamed or embarrassed about their financial conditions. And as long as you stay in that stuck place, you will not change and it will not move. Start to rise above that and start to take the baby steps you need to do to get out of that so you can grow. Anybody can transform their financial situation. I thank you. I have a couple of people who stayed on with me, and I really appreciate them. Miss Karen, thank you very much. I hope this session made a difference to you. Thank you. I appreciate the time and support. I wish you all, again, peace and blessings. Have a wonderful weekend. See you next Friday. Remember, Financial Fitness Fridays, every Friday, 10 p.m. Bye-bye.
You logged off so quick.
Bye-bye.
That's what you say. You like, bye. Like a little kid, like, bye-bye. Okay, one thing I noticed, your screen have Face Your Fears.
It has what?
You know?
It's on the screen?
Yes.
What is that?
So you must have obviously defined it